Microphone check. Hey, 1, 2, 1. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Microphone check. 1, 2, 1. Microphone check. 1, 2, 1. Microphone check. 1, 2, 1. Moving to the band. Microphone check. 1, 2, 1. Microphone check. 1, 2, 1. Testing one more time.
I'll take it.
1, 2, 1.
It's okay. Where is her part? Oh gosh. Don't even fret. She'll be back in time. She's just a freaking baby. Oh, is she okay though? Yeah, nah, she just wanted. Right there. You missed. There you go. Yeah. This one? No, no, no. This one? That one. This one? Okay. Everything in bold is me. Okay. Okay, so let's say the moon. Okay. For many years. Really? Do you want to? It's fine. Don't even fight. It's fine. She'll be. For many years, there were airmen, soldiers, and marines who stood to watch. Oh, did you just pause? Yeah. So I stood to watch. Okay, you're back. Wait, so why did you wear the skirt yesterday but the pants today? Because for my interview, it's like a different type of look. I started thinking, you want to have a professional everything, so like, you go with the skirt, that way it stands out more. Like, but today, I'm supposed to practice my skirt. That's her religion. Yeah, stuff like that. Shoot, I should have left anyway.
Morning. On behalf of the administration, faculty, staff, and student body of Escambia High School, I would like to welcome you to our 54th memorial ceremony. During the month of November, it is not uncommon for institutions all across our great nation to recognize our American heroes, our veterans. But uniquely, Escambia High School takes this time to remember and memorialize 26 of our brave American heroes that called this place their home. This memorial service is as much a part of Escambia as the blue and orange that we wear daily. This student-ran program represents the very best that the Escambia family has to offer, not only to our local community, but to the state, country, and world. This service brings us together and unites us all as we recognize our fellow Escambians who died in service to our country. To their family and friends of our fallen Escambians, we memorialize these 26 Escambia alumni this morning, and I would like to extend my heartfelt sorrow to the parents, relatives, and friends of these servicemen. These fallen graduates walked these very halls in the same capacity that our current students walk them each day. They were scholars, musicians, artists, athletes, club members, but more importantly, leaders. The sacrifices that these proud Escambians made in order for our freedoms should never be forgotten. They are true American heroes, and they will ever be forever remembered as Escambia High School's finest. I would like to take this moment to recognize our very special invited guests this morning. Please join me in welcoming to Escambia High School for the first time our new superintendent, Dr. Tim Smith. Dr. Smith. Our new school chairman, Mr. Bill Slayton from District 5. School board member representing District 2, Mr. Paul Fetzko. And school board member representing District 4, Ms. Patty Hightower. Our beloved Deputy Superintendent, Mr. Norm Ross. Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction, Mr. Steve Marcanio. And Director of High School Education, Ms. Lisa Morgan. Again, welcome. At this time, I would remind all visitors to turn off their cellular devices during the duration of this program. And now please join me in standing for the parading of colors, our national anthem, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I also remind you to please remain standing until the colors are retired.
Host the honor guard for the parading of the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Host the colors. Please be seated. My name is Ariana Murrow, Cadet Commanding Officer of Escambia High School's Navy Junior ROTC Unit. I would like to introduce Ms. Layla Curran of Escambia High School's National Honor Society.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Layla Curran, and I am the National Honor Society President here at Escambia High School. I would like to formally thank you for joining me in the recognition for those who have made the greatest sacrifice. I am so delighted to speak before you today here at the 54th Memorial Service at Escambia, and would like to dedicate this speech in memory to those veterans being honored today. Living in America is one of the greatest opportunities to be bestowed upon us, and unfortunately, it is often taken for granted. The liberties granted to us, the right to individuality, the right to live protected and free, are ones that have been fought for. Through both victory and loss, those profound men and women who have put their life on the line have been foundational to the beautiful diversity and strength that we have today. Living with these liberties, their sacrifice is not honored solely on Veterans Day or at a memorial service, but is with a part of us each day. When we take the Pledge of Allegiance in the moment of silence, our periods of reflection are not without meaning. Those moments, much like today, are in gratitude for those who protected the rights that we so cherish. Those moments are a time to mourn, a time to remember, and a time to respect. Let us take some time to say thank you once again to those who have gone through many struggles that many of us cannot even begin to imagine. So easily we become immersed in the mentality of living in a military town that we forget that these endeavors are no easy feat. The separations from loved ones, the journeys to countries unknown, and the struggles that many of us only see in movies are reality for so many. So often when we hear the word veteran, our mind wanders to times long ago, yet once in the same very school as you, the ones that walked in the same very halls, and maybe even in the same bleachers, were students at Escambia High School who made the choice to fight. They fought to sustain freedom and peace. They fought for lives that weren't their own. So many from our school and community make the same decision every day. That oath is not taken lightly. Thank you to anyone and everyone in this room who has made such a pledge. With our veterans, we also recognize our law enforcement, emergency aid, and along with any other department that has helped with the maintenance of peace and order in this country. I urge everyone in attendance today to take time to be grateful for the patriotism, protection, and prosperity that has been laid out before us through sacrifice. Let us not be a generation who forgets our veterans, especially our fallen brothers and sisters of Escambia High School. We are free and have been fought for at a price. We must promise that our veterans will never be forgotten. God bless America. Thank you.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Timothy Smith, Superintendent of Schools for Escambia County.
Well, thank you very much. I am greatly humbled to participate in this ceremony. And Ms. Curran, those remarks were fantastic. Thank you for sharing those very important thoughts and sentiments about our veterans. I want to thank you, the students of this great high school, for participating in this ceremony and for your leadership and the role you play at this wonderful school. Students, you have great futures ahead of yourselves, and we just think so very highly of you. You are so important, not only to Escambia High School, but to this entire district. We thank you for your leadership and participation in this very special ceremony today. I want to thank Mr. Murphy, Ms. Shannon, Ms. McElhaney for their leadership of this school. We thank you for all the heart and soul that you put into this school. And we thank our teachers and our support employees that make all the important things happen, the great lessons that are taught, and how they celebrate freedom and embrace freedom and teach us about freedom. This is a very, very impressive event, the 54th ceremony, and it's very, very heartfelt to be here. I'm so thankful to have a very talented and dedicated school board that we work together. And Chair Slayton, Board Member Fesco, and Board Member Hightower, thank you for your participation today and for your leadership of this district. As the longest student-run program in the country for Veterans Day, I hope you take great pride in this event, in recognizing veterans who have incredible connection, direct connection with this community, with this school, who paid the ultimate price. Very interesting, there was a group of students at one of our schools recently that wrote some letters, made some posters. Bellevue Elementary students, actually, is where these students were from. And they reached eventually to a Marine, 97-year-old Marine who had fought in World War II, one of the two surviving members in the Marines from that war. And it touched that veteran in a very special way. It meant a lot to that veteran to see that the youth of America holds high esteem and high esteem veterans and our current American brothers and sisters who serve in the armed forces today. And students, I bring that up, one, because you have an impact, and your impact can be tremendous. Those students at Bellevue Elementary, they had a great impact. They celebrated, encouraged, and valued our veterans, just as you are doing today. So I thank you for that. Memorializing 26 Escambians who gave their life in battle while serving in the military. We recognize Americans who serve in all 5 branches of the military. It is important that we do this. It is important that we cherish what has happened in our armed services to preserve, to protect, and to defend this country. To stand for the rights of freedom, the precious gift of freedom. And we celebrate that as we celebrate our veterans and the gift that they have given us. Let us always make sure what they have done on the battlefield matters. And how we do that is we cherish our freedom, we embrace our freedom, and we preserve freedom for all Americans. Students, thank you for this special event. And I encourage you to continue this good work and go forth being helpful and productive citizens. Thank you.
I would like to introduce Cadet Kay Soul, who will share the history of the memorial ceremony.
Good morning. I am Cadet Kay Soul, and it is my pleasure to take part in this Escambia High School Memorial Ceremony. This is the 54th consecutive year we have gathered here to honor the memories of Escambia High School alumni who have gone forth, given their lives in the service and protection of our great country. We remember. To the parents, families, and friends of this very respected group of Escambia graduates, we are honored that you are here with us today. This particular ceremony has no peer or counterpart throughout our school district. Of all programs and ceremonies undertaken in the Escambia County School District each year, none is or will be more important nor as reserved as ours today. It is a most positive reflection on the administration, faculty, staff, and student bodies, past and present, that such a program has continued for 54 years. Yes, we remember. Today's memorial ceremony originated as a service project of the Red Cross Service Club. The Red Cross Club also provided the first memorial stone on the front lawn in 1975. The stone initially contained the names of 13 honorees, all of which lost their lives in Vietnam. We remember. In 1978, Major Horace H. Fleming's name was added to the stone. Having been declared missing in action for several years, Major Fleming became Escambia's 14th casualty of war in Southeast Asia. We remember. Since 12 other Escambia graduates have fallen in the line of duty to their country, bringing the total number to 26, Captain Raymond McKay joined the roll we honor when his aircraft crashed off the coast of Somalia in January of 1995. We remember. Then, unfortunately, 2 more additions to our list of honorees appeared in February and September of year 2008. Jarvis Washington and Darius Dawson of United States Army made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. We remember. 26 former students, among them athletes, scholars, artists, poets, all Escambians, sat in the same bleachers, ate in the same cafeteria, and roamed the same halls as you. Some were even taught by the same motivating teachers. It is my hope that today's ceremony is meaningful to all of you. It has been both a privilege and an honor to share this time with you. Thank you.
The Escambia High School Band will now play Armed Forces, The Pride of America, arranged by Larry Clark. It is my pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Lieutenant Commander Eddie Thompson. Again! Out and hut! Lieutenant Commander Thompson entered military service in October 1985, joining the Delayed Enlistment Program. After being transferred to active duty in October 1986, he reported to Lackland Air Force Base, Texas, starting his career as an Air Force airman. There he received his security forces training with follow-on training at Hobart Field Special Operations Group, carried out duties at various classified geographical locations, such as Kusan Air Base, South Korea, Honduras, Bitburg Air Base, Germany, Diego Garcia, British Indian Ocean Territory, northwestern Russia, Kosovo, Bosnia, northern Iraq, and Afu Air Base, Nebraska. He transferred from Air Force to the Navy as an intelligence linguist and analyst. He proudly achieved the rank of Navy Chief Petty Officer, and shortly afterwards, he received a Navy commission as a limited duty officer in October 1998. From there, he attended the Navy Cryptologic Officer Base Course at then NTTC Corey Station. He performed in various intelligence positions at the National Security Agency, Fort Meade, Maryland, Office of Naval Intelligence, and Joint Operations with the Central Intelligence Agency. His various duties included National Security Operations Center, Chief of Staff for Balkan Intelligence, Crisis Watch Center covering Afghanistan and Iraq, and various classified support details with the Central Intelligence Agency. He returned to Corey Station to serve as an instructor for the Cryptologic Officer Training and Department Head for the Advanced Fleet Cryptologic Systems at the Center for Information Dominance. In 2005 to 2007, he reported to and served with distinction on board the USS Farragut DDG-99 out of the Naval Station, Mayport, Florida, as the Information Warfare Officer. While stationed on board the Farragut, he received his Surface Warfare Officer qualification. Lieutenant Commander Thompson was recalled back to the Center for Information Dominance to become the Director for National Cryptologic Training. These duties assigned him as the Chief Operations Officer for 13 learning sites positioned around the globe. At the conclusion of this tour, Commander Thompson retired from active duty. Lieutenant Commander Thompson's hometown is Savannah, Georgia, and he is married to Miss Jan Marie Thompson from Ray, North Dakota. They both reside in Pensacola, Florida, where he holds the current position of Senior Naval Science Instructor for Escambia High School's NJROTC.
Thank you very much. Over there, guys, is your future. Right there, standing in those stands, is the future of tomorrow. And it makes guys like me very happy to know that our footsteps we walked in are such great individuals and future community leaders. It's got to be a seat. Mr. Murphy, I'd like to thank you personally for having this event today. Not only is it within keeping of the Escambia tradition, it's also in keeping with the Navy's pride and condition. Because it doesn't matter where you are, sometimes you have to belay battle, drop anchor, and take the time to honor those who made your life here comfortable and to make your life here safe and make your life here secure. So, Mr. Murphy, I'd like to personally thank you for that. Many people who attend events like this, they view it as a time of mourning. But I tell you, if you believe as I believe, that you don't have to mourn because your loved one that is no longer here today is in a much better place. And you will never, and we will never, and the country will never forget the impact they had on the nation. Your loved one will always be with you because anytime you make such an intimate relationship with a loved one, your souls become entangled and they will never be severed. So they're here amongst you today. So there's no need to be sad. Just rejoice and remember that soul that's now a part of us. Those who never experienced military service ask a few questions. The top two questions they may ask is, why did you join? The second question they will ask is, so why did you stay so long? So we're going to talk about the first question because the latter question is very simple. The first question, why it's so difficult, because people join the military service for various reasons. Maybe you are looking to get that further education that you're looking forward to. Hopefully all of you guys are. Or the finances, making sure that your bellies are full, so you're going to get the basic needs for yourself. Or get that feeling of belonging. Or you might just want to see the world. But however you commit, they will make it happen. You will be part of a large family. Now that second question, why do you stay so long? Even though a lot of folks join for various reasons, at the end of the day, after you do that first tour of duty, you will notice that every service member, no matter what branch of service you're in, will have that very same aspect. We serve to protect and preserve the freedoms of America. Even though it's difficult at times, but we've all taken that oath that we will defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And the longer you serve, the more you understand that oath and how valuable it is to uphold and protect and preserve freedom, even if at some times it requires a sacrifice. Let's look at those words, freedom and sacrifice. Noah Webster defined freedom as being free, exempt from obligation, unrestricted, a right or a privilege. He defined sacrifice as a surrendering of something valuable for the sake of something more important. To give up for a higher good. Even though these two words seem vaguely different, but you must, at times, give a sacrifice for freedom. Because yes, ladies and gentlemen, freedom is not free. At times it may require actions. We are all able to be here today together, freely gathered under the protection of the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Because of the obvious sacrifice that these alumni who walked the halls of Escambia High School was willing to make. Many of those remembered today served by choice. Some may even have served by the draft. However, we still owe all of the fallen a great debt of gratitude. They fought to protect us from tyranny, terrorism, and oppression. They stood to watch as we slept soundly in peace and comfort. They made it possible for each and every one of us to carry on with our lives as we see fit. They served and died with zeal and honor. Selfless action is not a trait of a foolish person, and definitely not the trait of losers. This is the trait of true patriotism, and I salute each and every one of them for that heroic action. Escambia High School was established in 1958 and graduated its first class in 1969. But at that same moment, the United States had been drawn into the Vietnam War. The war lasted for 16 years until 1975. In 1966, the Escambia High School lost one of its alumni into battle. 14 other service alumni from Escambia High School would soon follow. But they were not alone. Crossing over that bridge, along with them, was 58,168 brothers in arms. This was a tumultuous time for any service member. But those who did return home did not receive a hero's welcome. They were met with deep disgust and hatred from the very citizens that they fought for so that they wouldn't have to go through a communist oppression. Many associate military service directly with war fighting. But you can believe me when I say that there isn't one single service member that looks forward to going to war. Your military is here to preserve peace and protect freedom. We do not just serve during the times of war. Escambia has had 7 alumni to have fallen during peacekeeping times. So when you hear someone say, when they signed up, they knew what they were getting into, those words to me are callous and cold. No service member puts on that uniform, look into the mirror, and say to themselves, today, I'm going to make my spouse a widow or a widower. And I'm going to leave my loved ones behind to mourn my loss. No one says that. As ironic it may sound, the members of the military, I say again, are for peace. If you examine the rank of the highest officer closest to battle in the Navy and the Coast Guard, they're called captain. In the other services, they're called colonel. Being an educator, I'm just going to educate you real quick. That eagle, that's America. That shield that's protecting that eagle, that's your service members. But know this, in the right hand, clenched in talons, are olive branches. If you don't know this, an olive branch is a symbol of peace. When you extend your hand to greet someone, you extend your right hand. So you're offering peace first. And yes, in the left hand, or the left talons, I should say, are arrows. And yes, it does represent war. But as the 2,000-year-old adage goes, if you want peace, prepare for war. This is usually interpreted meaning through strength comes freedom. A strong society prevents from being attacked by having a strong army, a military deterrence. During the time of the Gulf War, 58,168 service members lost their lives. In between Desert Storm and 9/11, the U.S. played a major role in several operations. It was during these operations when 2 more Escambia alumni fell while defending democracy in the nations of our allies. Of course, some of you were not born for 9/11. But those of us who were can remember September 11th, 2001. This is the day that Americans were attacked right here in America. But know this, out of that carnage grew the greatest fighting force unlike any ever seen since Pearl Harbor. Today it is known as the Afghan War. Many of those that joined the ranks graduated from Escambia High School. Unfortunately, this brave action led to the demise of 2 more alumni. Yet still, more Escambia graduates continue to answer the call and step up to fill in the ranks. I have been a senior naval science instructor at Escambia High School for 10 years. Even though this is not a recruitment program, I've seen several students, not just cadets, join the armed forces, willing to take their place among those that's shielding the nation. And doing so, I feel proud to know you, because I understand that you are not just stepping up on that line, but you're willing to make that sacrifice. And it don't deter you. And Escambia High School's military tradition lives on. I would like to send my gratitude to those who also sacrifice. Those who, some couldn't be here today because of medical reasons, but when they see this on YouTube or their social media, I would like to say it is because of you and your support as a family member that made it possible for your service member to tolerate the moods of war. Your support motivated and elevated the spirit of your service member. It aided them to fight the hard fight because you were a constant reminder of why they were there. As they served, you served. And that is rightfully why you have the deserving title of Gold Star. It was you who had to endure the burden of relinquishing one of God's greatest gifts, a son, a daughter, a beloved spouse, or a dear friend. But know this, they were not alone, and they will never be forgotten. These honorable veterans gave their lives, not in vain, but doing what means the most to them, making sure that you were safe and secure, ensuring that you can live out your life in a free American democracy. When I am seen in my uniform or my off-duty military attire, those that did not serve, or even those who served, will greet me with some form of appreciation. I would like to extend that same greeting and respect for every Gold Star parent or family member or loved one today. Thank you for your service.
Lieutenant Commander, thank you for your service. Lieutenant Commander is retiring in 2 weeks, and we wish you the very best on your retirement. And we thank you for all the stuff that you have done over your 10 years at Escambia, bringing us a national championship in the ROTC, and our program being in the top 5 in the nation under your tenure, all 10 years out of 1,800 units across America and the world. Thank you, sir.
Please stand for the posting of the colors. Post the colors. Post the honor guard for roll call. You may be seated. Parents and family members of our deceased graduates are asked to please stand as the name of their loved one is called. You may be seated immediately after the presentation by the senior class members. The roll call will be read by Miss Amber Wright and Miss Mallory Bell from EHS Anchor Club. The tolling of the bell will be performed by Cadet Caleb Shuck.
Corporal Richard Anthony Groover, United States Marine Corps. Lance Corporal Victor Edward Chase, United States Marine Corps. Private First Class Russell James Peake, United States Army. Sergeant Donald Prue Smith, United States Army. Chief Petty Officer Bartley T. Stokes III, United States Navy. Petty Officer First Class Wallace B. Johnson III, United States Navy. Second Lieutenant Robert E. Tuttle, United States Marine Corps. Second Lieutenant James Monroe Russian, United States Marine Corps.
Private First Class James D. Carey, Jr., United States Marine Corps.
Private Donald W. Moore, United States Army.
First Lieutenant Thomas E. Williams, Jr., United States Marine Corps.
Private First Class Michael D. Sprinkle, United States Marine Corps.
Lance Corporal Paul J. Lafreniere, Jr., United States Marine Corps.
Warrant Officer Leo Claude Hester, United States Army.
Lieutenant John A. Williamson, III, United States Navy.
Major Horace H. Fleming, Jr., United States Marine Corps.
Staff Sergeant John Edward Strasser, United States Army.
Sergeant Jeffrey Scott Key, United States Army.
Senior Airman Jadonjo Prince Lowe, United States Air Force.
Lieutenant Stephen G. Risker, United States Navy.
Sergeant First Class Carl Joseph Buck, United States Army.
Captain Raymond Norvell McKay, United States Marine Corps.
Staff Sergeant Donald Hall, United States Air Force.
Senior Airman Paulo Jesus Ortez, United States Air Force.
Staff Sergeant Javaris Washington, United States Army.
Staff Sergeant Darius Dawson, United States Army.
Post the honor guard.
Honor guard! Post! Mark time! Mark! Left! Up! Right! Right!
I am the flag of the United States of America. I was born July 4th, 1776, and the Declaration of Independence is my birth certificate. The bloodlines of the world run through my veins, for I offer freedom to the oppressed. I stand for many things and many people. United States Army. I am the nation. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 225 years. Gettysburg, Normandy, Guam, Iwo Jima, Korea, Saigon, Grenada, Beirut, Panama, in the Persian Gulf, and Afghanistan. A score of places long forgotten by all but those who were there with me. I was there. I led my soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. United States Marine Corps. I follow them. I watch over them. They love me. When freedom called, I answered and stayed until it was over. I left my heroic dead in Flanders Field, in the oceans of the Pacific and Atlantic, in the steaming jungles of Vietnam, the waters of the Persian Gulf, the sands of Desert Storm, and the caves of Afghanistan. I was conceived in freedom, and God willing, in freedom I will spend the rest of my days. May I possess always the integrity, the courage, and the strength to keep myself unshackled, to remain the citadel of freedom and the beacon of strength to the rest of the world. This is my goal, my hope, my prayer. United States Navy. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries I have helped set free, and sadly, of my own country. And when it's by those whom I have given the freedom to express their rights, it hurts, but I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space. United States Air Force. I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hour comes when I am torn into strips to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle, when I fly half-mast to honor my soldiers, and when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother at the graveside of her fallen son or daughter. I am proud, I am free, I am brave. My name is Old Glory, long may I wave. Dear God, long may I wave. United States Coast Guard. The flag of the United States of America, one great nation that you have so proudly served and honorably defended. This flag, which we so honor, is the true emblem of our unity, our power as a nation. We have lost a true sailor, airman, soldier, and Marine. Thanks for your commitment, dedication, and sacrifice. You will not be forgotten. We will now honor our prisoners of war and those missing in action. Please stand for the reading of the watch by Cadet Jory Bryant. Remain standing as Ms. Lily Strickland and Mr. Costa Jansen, trumpeters for the EHS band, play taps. Concluded with the singing of our alma mater and the retiring of the colors.
Good morning. For many years, these sailors, airmen, soldiers, and Marines have stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning our trade, these heroes stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, they stood the watch. In those years when the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizon history, they stood the watch. Many times they would cast an eye ashore and see their families standing there, needing their guidance and help, needing that hand to hold during those hard times, but they still stood the watch. They stood the watch so that our families and fellow countrymen could sleep safe and soundly each and every night. Today we are here to say, the stand watch is relieved. Today our fellow shipmates, soldiers, airmen, and Marines, rest in peace. You stand relieved. We have the watch. Trumpeters, please sound taps, for they will stand the watch no more. They are relieved, but never forgotten.
Retire the colors. This concludes Escambia High School's 54th Annual Memorial Service. Thank you so much for attending.